Pedrom, nice to meet you. Could you just start by introducing yourself?
Sure. My name is Pedrom Rejai. I'm head of supply chain for Unilever International Americas. So in Unilever International, we do all the imports and exports out of the respective countries. So I cover North America and LATAM, and I have end-to-end supply chain. Spent the last 15 years doing supply chain manufacturing and many other things in between. I've made Dove bar soap, Hellmann's mayonnaise, Knorr pasta sides, and done strategic planning for our Dove personal care and beauty business, and many other things in supply chain. Got a chemical engineering degree as well as an MBA from UNC.
Great. You got there ahead of me on telling me all about the company, which is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just tell me then, diving that little bit deeper, about your day job? What does a kind of a typical day look like for you?
None of them are the same. That I will tell you for sure. And if I told you what a typical month looks like, we'd be here for hours. So the best part of my job is that it changes every day. But typically we are dealing with supply chain disruptions that happen throughout the week. We have a typical operation that's going on 24/7 because we're importing from all over the world. We have sourcing units all over the world. And so whenever problems come up, me and my team deal with them. We have a back office team that manages our documentation, our data flows, communication, things like that. And then the front office team that's handling sales and marketing in the respective countries. Within that, you can imagine everything that goes wrong. And so my job as the head of supply chain is to take this operations and make it better little bit by little bit every single day. So that includes things like implementing new digital tools, realigning teams, reorganizing as the business grows, looking at new markets and how we can get supplies to those markets, and everything in between those.
Fantastic. A great answer, Pedrom. We're living, of course, and you've kind of touched on this sort of slightly, we're living, of course, in disrupted times, unpredictable times, many would say. So on a daily basis at the moment, what are those big challenges that are keeping you up at night?
Yeah, the big challenges is the big T word, tariffs, that I know we've all heard about in the news every day. It changes, which means every day my supply chain changes because I'm dealing with all international shipments. And it's interesting because a lot of people don't realize the impact that the US tariffs have on all the other countries. So of course, I'm also looking after LATAM, 30 plus countries, but they need containers that also flow through China and the US. And so when the US tariffs impact how that container flow goes, that impacts the rest of the world, and the balance is very tight. And so what keeps me up every night is how to work through those. Luckily, my team is amazing, absolutely spectacular, and every day we come up with a new scenario plan of what we need to do. And so I would say my sleep is getting better and better as time goes on because our supply chain is getting more and more resilient as time goes on. And a lot of people think that resiliency comes at a cost. It doesn't always come at a cost. You can have a resilient supply chain without increasing your cost 5 or 10-fold. And so we work through that every day, and we find new ways to solve problems.
Brilliant. Great to hear you're sleeping a bit better after the chaos, to put it mildly, of the past few months. So what you've obviously come from your session this morning here at Procurement Supply Chain Live Chicago. Have you already touched on some of the key topics that you discussed? What really emerged from the session as sort of a key theme? Yeah,
so the key themes from the session are how to build and manage an international supply chain and some of the huge parts that go with it, and also specifically how to break it, because a lot of people don't think about that type of issues that could come up along the way. So we had 3 key themes in it. The first one was how to build a flexible sourcing environment where you have a digital backbone that you can have full visibility across the sourcing. The second key theme was around making complexity your superpower, and how complexity can actually be your strategic advantage and make you better than your competition. Because when you're in an international supply chain, everything is different. Every country has different requirements. Every shipping document might be a little different. You have all these different languages. So that complexity is something that actually can be a strategic advantage for you. And then the last key theme was how to build high-performing teams that have a lot of autonomy. And that's the biggest piece that comes out of that is making sure you have knowledge both in the destination market as well as the sourcing unit, and that people pick up the phone to talk to each other, because a lot of times it's about relationships more than anything else, no matter where you go in the world. So those are the 3 big key themes. It had great feedback, a lot of questions afterwards, which is always great to see. And go watch the recording, check it out.
Fantastic. You mentioned those questions. Were you able to gauge from that kind of what's on attendees' minds at the moment?
Yeah, so I found the questions more around how to approach problems that come up than anything else. And a lot of people are realizing from my talk especially that you can approach problems as a relationship problem more than anything else. So you have a supply chain disruption, but usually someone in that chain knows how to solve it. And if you don't have those relationships built, you may not find that solution so easily. And so the questions were really centered around, okay, how do I evaluate this problem here? Well, you go and talk to the sourcing unit. Okay, what happens if this goes wrong in Chile or something else? Okay, call the destination market. Can they adjust what they need to do? Or can you get a different container loading? So those are the types of questions I actually had afterwards, which is really interesting to hear, because you find that all of these disruptions in supply chain come down to people at the end of the day. And those people do know a way through it. You just got to find the right person.
Now, just finally, Procurement Supply Chain Live Chicago is, of course, been co-located with Sustainability Live Chicago. Why would you say, just in summary, it's so important and so beneficial to bring together procurement supply chain execs with their sustainability colleagues?
Yeah, first and foremost, every decision I make every day has a sustainability impact. And I think a lot of people forget that because we typically separate the sustainability aspect of it. So putting all three of these in the same location brings it first and foremost to the forefront of everybody's mind. And I think that's absolutely critical in supply chain because if you're not thinking about sustainability every day, you're not going to meet the goals you have. You're going to hurt the environment every day. Like knowing the CO2 per container that you're actually shipping across the world is really important. And so bringing these together helps me learn more because I have something to learn in sustainability too. And it also helps the sustainability team learn what decisions we're making every day in supply chain, because we do make decisions every day that impact it, and we could adjust those in a lot of cases to be more sustainable. And that's part of one of the goals that I have for this year.